Hey, Fragrance family, I'm Daver.
I'm Jer.
And we're the
Fragrance Bros.
Coming at you this time again with another review, this time on Tom Ford's Plum Japonais. His new, one of his new fragrances from his Oriental collection that came out this year.
Yeah.
So let's get straight to it. Date introduced is 2013, classified as a floral fruity. Notes are Japanese plum, saffron, cinnamon, immortelle, plum blossom, camellia, oud, amber, benzoin fir, and vanilla. What'd you get out of longevity out of this?
Excellent longevity.
Yeah.
I got probably 10 to 12 hours. It was a long time, son.
I got beast mode. Dude, it lasts forever on me.
Yeah.
Man, I wore it one day, woke up the next morning, and I could still smell it. Pretty strong.
That can be a con sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes like, all right.
Yeah.
Throw that flag up, son. Yeah.
What about projection?
I felt like it was actually just kind of average on the projection. I didn't feel like
Yeah.
it was really pushing away from me a lot. Even though it's a strong fragrance, for some reason it doesn't seem to really get away from you.
Yeah, I got the same deal. Which that doesn't really bother me. I mean, not every fragrance can be tobacco vanille. Season, I say this is best for fall and winter, and day or night. I think it would work well for both of those. Purpose, I would say this is probably best on a date, but also can work for formal situations.
Yeah, I think it could be, yeah. I mean, for an older gentleman, it could be a signature scent.
Okay.
Just because to me it skews a little mature.
Okay.
Not you? All right. I feel like I'm wrong, but let's press on.
What does this remind you of?
It reminds me a lot. And I think this has probably been said before. I haven't watched any reviews of this, but it reminds me a lot of Japan Noir, which was the discontinued Tom Ford fragrance from whenever. And I had some of that and wore it a few times. And this is very similar. And I don't mean to, make comparisons just because this has, Japan in the name, just like that one does. But to me, if you smell Japan Noir and you layered some plum on top of it, you got the same fragrance. It's really, to me, that's about all there is. And so I was really stoked about this fragrance coming into it.
Yeah.
Not so stoked coming out of it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hype. And when you hear that name, that plum, you really, to me, it conjures up this olfactory, thing of what it could be, and it didn't fulfill that for me. So
yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I was the same way. There was a lot of hype going into it, and I think it was just like the plum was just like schmirking, swing. It's an old reference, jeez, from Wayne's World, man. But yeah, you hear plum, and it's like where do I buy?
Yeah,
and
take my money.
But when I smelled it, I was a little disappointed too.
Yeah.
And let's first actually talk about how this is actually marketed towards women. And when I wore it, I didn't think it was a very womanly fragrance.
Yeah.
I think women could probably wear it and it'll be fine, but it doesn't really smell like a feminine fragrance to me. It probably smells more along like a gender neutral type to me. But I wore it and I didn't feel like I was wearing a woman's fragrance, even though that's where it was marketed to. So I really think it was a real lack of judgment on their part, because when they have a whole bunch of unisex fragrances, like tobacco vanille, they call unisex, but this is feminine. Yeah, it's weird.
To me, it's not even unisex. This is very masculine to me. I don't know what those notes are. I think it's maybe some of that fur. I don't know. Some of those. There's something in there that is just overtly masculine to me.
Yeah.
I mean, big time. I suppose a woman can wear anything she wants to, really, and a woman can pull it off. It doesn't really go the other way so much. It's kind of a one-way street, but I wouldn't peg this for a female fragrance. That's weird.
Yeah,
it's bizarre.
Yeah, yeah. When I first wore this, I remember trying it on and being like, I'm gonna see what it smells like, being really let down. Yeah, because it smelled really derivative, and it smelled generic, and I mean. Every time when people talk about an expensive fragrance, they immediately say, "Oh, well, it's real high quality," and you can tell. I mean, it's probably high quality, but who cares if it smells generic? Yeah, I don't care about the quality. Yeah, but so I smelled it and it smelled generic. Actually, what it reminded me of right away was Gucci Guilty, in a way, in the bad way. And I don't think it smells exactly like that, but it shares some similarities in that, to where it has like a very, it's floral and ambery type pairing.
That is damning coming from the Fragrance Bros.
Yeah, it is. When I wore it some more,
Yeah.
I came around a little bit.
Yeah.
So I didn't think it was horrible, and I don't necessarily think it's a clone of Gucci Guilty, but it's in that same style.
The same
somewhat.
genre. Right, Mark?
That's right. So really what you get is an ambery, spicy plum, especially when you smell it right on your skin.
Yeah.
But when you pull away and you just smell it kind of, emanating off your skin, it smells different. It smells light and airy and almost citrusy. It's a really weird thing that happens, but I like it.
Yeah.
I like that it does that.
Yeah.
Because whenever I pull up like this and I smell it on my skin, I don't like it as much as when I can smell it in the air.
Yeah.
I think it smells really good in the air. The plum is center stage in this, followed by amber, and then a slight incensey note. And then as it dries, you get more florals and that fir note coming up. And the fir is really interesting in this, and it adds kind of like that clean quality that comes up. I really like how they added that in this. And I think amber fans are really going to love this. If you like any type of amber at all. I think you're really gonna like it.
To me, the plum was not prominent.
Okay.
I think the reason is because I've worn Japan Noir. I think that's the part that just really stuck out to me so much. To me, plum was almost like a background, or not background, but just kind of like a supporting role of sorts. I don't know. I didn't get a whole lot of that, but I do agree with the spice plum designation. I heard Freeze say that on Facebook, and I thought that was I think he called it a spice plum chai tea or something like that.
Okay.
And I thought that was pretty astute. That's you do get a lot of spiciness in there, and but just not my flavor.
What about compliments?
No, Stephanie said it was okay.
Yeah.
But that's never a really good thing from her, because she rarely dislikes fragrances. A lot, if they're just meh, she'll say they're okay.
Yeah.
This was not one of those big pluses, and it wouldn't have mattered because I didn't really care for it on me.
Yeah.
So, not a great one for the Clarks.
Yeah. My wife liked it in the air some, and she liked it less whenever she smelled it on my skin.
Yeah.
Final rating.
I gotta give it 2 out of 5.
Whoa. Okay.
I don't know. It really didn't do it for me. I was expecting a lot more, and the impression I got, and this could just be me, the impression I got was discontinue Japan Noir, but kind of hang on to the DNA and then try to reintroduce it again with some stuff added on top. And to me, I don't know, it wasn't good because I don't really like Japan Noir.
Okay.
So it just didn't. It failed to meet my expectations, and maybe they were too high to start. But whatever. I didn't care for it. My wife didn't really care for it. So deuce out of cinco. That's 2 different languages. Whatever. Okay.
I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. I think it's a decent fragrance. I don't think it's bad at all. I think it's just probably not my thing.
Yeah.
I think there are gonna be a lot of people who do really like this.
Yeah.
And it doesn't live up to the status quite like Tuscan Leather or Tobacco Vanille, but it might live up to the status of like Oud Wood or Bois Américain maybe.
Yeah.
So it's one of those where there are people that do like it, but
Italian
it's not.
Cypress maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not as popular though.
Yeah.
So time will tell.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to be a runaway hit for them.
Yeah. Fall on that mid tier for Tom Ford. Good call, Dave.
So that's all we got. Let us know in the comments down below if you've smelled it and what you think of it. Of course, if you haven't already, like and subscribe down below. We'll love you for it. We'll see you next week with another fragrance review with the Fragrance Brothers. Bye.